They killed Hugh. Why? He was a good Borg. Okay. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach to Nerd, and in this episode we are reviewing episode 7 of Picard entitled Nepenthe, which is basically the planet that Riker and Deanna are living on, which I did speculate in the last episode, which probably wasn't too hard. Everyone probably knew that but me. That's where I thought that, when he said he was going there in the end of the last episode, I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna go see Riker finally. But all right, so this episode, oh God, guys, I'm just gonna talk about stuff I liked and stuff I didn't like. Stuff I liked were I loved my TNG peeps together again. I love the fact that Deanna is now a commander. She's no longer Lieutenant Deanna Troi. She's Commander Deanna Troi. And that Riker's still basically in reserves. He could be shipped off with another ship, whenever, if Starfleet wanted them to, really mess stuff up for them. I love the head tilt that Soji does when they first bring Soji to Nepenthe to see Riker and Deanna, kind of like the hideout. I think she's done it before and I probably didn't notice. I mean, honestly, if she was ever going to do it, it's going to be with Narek, because everything that man did was shady. So if I was her, I would head tilt all the time. So I did like that. I thought that Kestra, who's named after Deanna's older sister, who, if you remember in TNG, she drowned when she was a baby, and her mother kind of blocked the memories out because it was too painful to deal with. I love that they named their daughter Kestra. And their son's name is Thaddeus. And I remember, I don't know if it was DS9 or Voyager, but there's an episode where Riker is telling someone that that's one of his great-grandfathers or uncles, but I know it's somebody in Rikers Family that they named their oldest Thaddeus after. And speaking of Thaddeus, something that not that I really didn't like, but I was very confused. So he has, let me see if I can remember the name, mendoxic neurosclerosis, I think it's called, which is like a silicone-based virus disease that's fatal unless you get treated. And you can get the treatment if you have a positronic matrix, or basically the brain of a synthetic. And with the ban on synthetics, they weren't able to basically synthesize the cure for their son, and so he ended up dying. And the reason they went to Nepenthe is because the soil apparently has rejuvenating properties. I guess they were hoping to either extend his life or to heal him. Now, the problem that I have with this, I know old school Riker and Deanna, they have gotten out of wormholes, time rifts, all kinds of stuff. You mean to tell me they didn't think to find another way of saving their son? And I'm not trying to be cold about this. I'm just being practical. I mean, these are characters that have done the impossible in TNG. And now it's their child, and it's oh, but we're retired, so we don't know. It's and I mean, think about it, the Baku. Why not see if the Baku at this point, it's 20 or 30 years later. Yes, in Insurrection, they didn't have the technology to fix data at the time, but I mean, who knows what they have now? It's been 20 or 30 years, It's I don't know, guys. I don't get it. I mean, even B4, I mean, did he still have his, a working? Because they did say they downloaded some of Data's data into his brain. So I'm assuming that, if they did that, then there's your matrix right there. I mean, I don't get it. Why did they not think? Why didn't they go to Picard and say, hey, our son's dying. Help us. Think of a solution. Do something. I don't know. It's just very strange to me. So I'm just putting that out there, that their son, the way he died is okay, writers, you could have done something a little bit better than that. And make a disease that's completely incurable. And I know they're trying to tie it in with what's happening with the synthetics and trying to give you a moment of, hey, this is how crucial and messed up this world is now. But I mean, for me, it's really? I'm just putting it out there. I like that they use Kestra as pretty much a bridge between the information regarding Data and finding out more about Soji. We learned that she does have mucus, she produces things like a human, bodily fluids like a human. She asked questions some TNG, little Easter egg TNG things do you like the violin or Sherlock Holmes? And there's an episode in TNG where Data plays the violin, and he's in this game where they're basically, it's a simulation where he is portraying Sherlock. So I remember that episode, and I thought that was a really cool homage, and like bending metal, and all these things that Data did in TNG at some point. She's questioning Soji to have that link between father and daughter. But I guess one of the things that is very strange. So you had Dodge, who was like, she seeked out Picard, and she's like, I feel like I can trust you. I feel like I know you. Something tells me I need to be with you. But Soji is like, after what happened with Narek, I don't trust any of you. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. I mean, you could just be trying to kill me too. She even pushes him. I mean, he's an old man, and she like pushes him. And I'm like, wow, they're so different. Dodge and Soji are completely different. I actually prefer Dodge to Soji. I know that sounds bad, but I do. I like Dodge. Soji's a little annoying. And I know she's been through a lot. I get it. She just found out she's 3 years old. I understand that. It's just Dodge watched her boyfriend get killed, in her apartment, and still didn't react the way Soji's, reacting. So I'm just putting that out there. Hugh got killed in this episode. Oh, God. And Rizzo, I flipping want to... Rizzo reminds me of a bad Disney character or like a villain in a video game that I just want to stomp. Because she has no other purpose than being perverted with her brother and making speeches and threats that make no sense. And just being a class 5 bitch. And honestly, she really got on my nerves in this one by telling Hugh, oh, I can't kill you because there's a Federation treaty, or treaty with the Federation. And I'm like, what? You're Tal Shiar. Why does that matter? It doesn't make any sense to me why she can't kill Hugh because of a Federation treaty. And then he like all of a sudden, he breaks the treaty and now she's able to kill him. I'm like, who's going to know this? I mean, you've been doing shady stuff since you got on the Borg cube. Why is that a big deal? And oh my God, I felt so bad for Hugh when his XPs were murdered. You could feel it. Oh, it was almost like they were 100% still connected, like 100% assimilated. He felt them die. Oh, it was so heartbreaking. And then him dying and, at least telling Eleanor, you gave me hope. And what was Eleanor doing? Was he hiding? Where was he? I miss... Guys. That's just something that was bothering me about the episode. I mean, Eleanor is pretty badass character, and like it kind of like put him on the back burner while all the XPs got assassinated pretty much, and then Hugh ends up getting killed. So I'm not happy with that, and I was not happy with Eleanor's choice to stay on the Borg cube. I feel like there was another way to get to them rather than blowing the cube up or whatever his plans are. So yeah. So I guess we're going to see more of Eleanor. We better. I'm hoping they're not going to kill him off too, because, again, we have 3 episodes now. So who knows what's going to happen in the finale. But yeah, they need to utilize Eleanor a little bit more and give him more canon stuff, because he bound his sword to Picard's lost cause. Why is he, now the Borg cube's lost cause, binding his sword there? It's just really weird to me, especially since he started off wanting to have that connection with Picard because he was his father figure, wanting to travel with him. And now it just seems like, you go do your own thing. I'm good over here. And I don't know. It just doesn't sit well with me. So it is what it is. Rios, Rafi, and Aggie. Aggie is feeling the guilt. Feeling the guilt. I mean, you could tell she's never hurt anybody. She's probably been this little mousy, scientist this entire time. And she killed Bruce Maddox. And she's on the ship and she doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go to where Soji is because she doesn't want to have to feel like she has to carry it out. And we do get to see that, does the mind merge again? We get to see some of the vision of people shooting themselves in the head and like this mass, destruction of everything. And that's what set her on this course. But at the same time, her guilt factor is like off the charts. And Rios is pretty much, they're trying to outrun Narek, who's following them. They don't know it's Narek, obviously. They don't know who Narek is, but Narek is tracking them, and they can't figure out why he keeps finding them. And then Rios makes a speculation that it is Rafi, which is funny because it made it seem to me like they were like, Rafi and him were like in cahoots, like to try and get Aggie to basically come clean about having the tracker and being a spy. But the way the scene played out, it almost looked like he was really speculating are having a suspicion of Rafi, which doesn't make sense because the only reason he's even involved in this is because he trusts Rafi, religiously. It's like they are like two peas in a pod, best friends. And now all of a sudden you're like, well, maybe, all this drinking you're doing and blah, blah, blah. Maybe you went to the dark side. Maybe you're working with the Romulans, which nothing in Rafi's history would ever show that she was pro helping the Romulans, when it's basically the concept of them being behind everything is what destroyed her life and her marriage. So I don't understand that at all, at all. So Rios, since he, let's just say what it is, since he had a little fun horizontally and probably vertically with Aggie, it's like his brain shut off and the other one's thinking now. So it is what it is. And on the flip side, Aggie goes to like extreme measures, and she uses like this like hydro spray that like the toxicity of it puts her in a coma to try and dissolve the tracker in her, which works. And now she's in a coma. So yeah. It was a pretty good episode. Again, I like the interactions with Riker and Deanna. I love how Picard has not really understood fully that his friends are not still his crew members, because he still kind of talks to them like they're, this is assignments. This is like, well, I don't want to tell you this because, it's kind of like it's classified, and this is not the ready room. Or the fact that they actually said our table can be your ready room, because I know that's what he needs. It's really interesting. And I love how Deanna kind of has to play the mother bear to him. How he interacts with Soji is not how you should interact with a teenager who's lost or who thinks that everything around her now is not believable or trustworthy. They're playing up the fact that Picard is still crap with kids, because he is. Even now, even 30 years later, he is still just as crappy with kids as he was back then, because he doesn't like them. I mean, it is what it is. Another cool Easter egg is we got to see that he still has his fake heart, his bionic heart. So that's kind of cool. They referenced it, like when Kestra shows up and she has like the little bow and an arrow and she's gonna shoot him. He's like, you might want to aim for my head because this is pretty much titanium. And that was pretty cool. But yeah, really enjoyable episode. Still extremely sad about Hugh. Really, really sad about Hugh. Kind of excited for next week because now that Aggie's in a coma, you see in the preview that Picard is back on the ship. So he's going to get answers from her, and we might get a little bit more insight as to what O's actual, agenda is for her to be working with the Tal Shiar and, our favorite secret Romulan group as a Vulcan is very interesting. It is. Vulcans and Romulans are not bed friends in any sense of the word. They don't like each other because, they were one race. And they kind of had a difference of opinion on how to handle religion and the handling of emotions. So, yeah. I'm excited. I think it's pretty awesome. I think they did a really good job, but that is my opinion. I really want to know what you guys think. Leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the nerd ballot, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.